Hey, what's up, guys? This is Sam, and I'll be doing the free video for Friday, November 5th, 2021. So, a pretty crazy week in the books here. One of the most aggressively vertical weeks that you may ever see across almost everything. And it has broken out the small caps. So that's kind of the big story of the week is the small caps, after a year of consolidation, have finally broken out. So let's start there. I'm just going to have two quick points for you here. I just went through the entire market with the premium video folks in the gold room, and everything's just wildly extended, right? I typically go through every sector, and then I tell them these are the good sectors, these are the bad sectors. There wasn't any bad sectors. All the sectors look good. It's just a matter of how wildly extended are they. If you want to bust out a pencil or something, I'll give you some of the best ones that I saw that still are at least on the launch pad and aren't kind of in outer space like in something like XLY. So some of the best ones going into next week that I saw: XLI, Industrials, XLE, Energy, and I'm going to say FANG stocks. So last week in this video, I told you guys to keep an eye on the NY FANG. We're going to look at that after this, but let me just kind of give you a couple points here on the IWM. The IWM is actually pretty remarkable here, because if this pattern does go to its full target, at the minimum it takes you to 250, but the measured move here is actually 260. So I'm looking for 250 to 260 here on IWM. The setup on its own, I mean, you have this ultra long consolidation, you have the proper breakout, you have the proper volume, you have the proper squeeze. You kicked off the center here. You're still in trend. You went into trend here where you haven't been for a year, which is generally good. Again, the only problem with IWM is just there's a huge distance between where it is and where it should normally be bought for a swing trade. And that's the problem that's universal across all markets at this point. It's just how wildly extended is the object that you're looking at. And I would stick with the same advice I gave you guys last week, or the same, I won't say advice, but the same, just telling you what I'm doing essentially, which is just shrinking the time frames. Because up here at these levels, there's no shot that I can day trade this stuff, or there's no shot that I can swing trade this stuff. It's just, and the reason being is very simple. If I were to get in here at 242 on IWM, where's my stop? My stop, if I'm taking a stop below the low here, that's not a swing trade, right? So if I were to take a stop on this, it would have to be somewhere between here and here, between the 8 and the 21. So if I were to get in at 242, which is close, the close, my earliest point of a stop is 236. So am I willing to risk $6 here, about 2.5%, just to get it back to a normal level, which is the 8 EMA? And personally, I'm not, right? So then how do you play this when stuff gets too crazy like this? Well, the way that I go back and check out last week's video if you missed this point, but just shrink your time frames, right? So instead of trading like a daily chart, replace the daily with a 60-minute, and replace the 60-minute with a 15, and replace the 15 with a 5, and replace the 5 with a 3. And that's the adjustment. And then that way you're just trading the smaller time frames, and you don't have to worry about this like ridiculous distance between your entry and price, or your entry and the stop. So again, here to close out on IWM, look for 250 to 260 on this thing. Let's go back here to where we were last week, which is what I told you to focus on, or at least that's what I was going to be focusing on, was going to be the NY FANG. And this thing had a week as well. It's a really potent setup when you have both the small caps with a weekly squeeze like I just showed you, and the FANG stocks with a weekly squeeze. And you frankly have the Dow. If you want to look at this on your own, look at the DIA. And that has a weekly squeeze, right? So this is a really, really potent setup, and it really does set up kind of a blow-off top scenario into the end of the year. So there's plenty of juice in this thing to take us into December 31st. The only issue that I'm seeing here is just the entries. The entries are a little bit not kosher if you're following your rules. So kind of a short video today, but I just wanted to show you kind of the bigger picture here. There's not a lot of nuance in this market, right? Normally I try to find problems. I'm like, hey, let's look here, let's look there. This isn't right, this isn't right. At this, at this juncture, there's really nothing that's standing out as a problem other than the fact that we're like sky high in terms of being extended away from natural support. So make those adjustments. Make sure that you have a plan going into next week. Make sure you formulate your plan over this weekend. That way you are ready for Monday no matter what happens. And I think you really only have 3 decisions to make, or you have to choose one of 3 things. Is either A, you're perfectly okay taking a 2-3 ATR swing trade entry, which is fine. Not in my trading plan, not in the trading plan of anyone I know, but more power. That's one option. The second option is you're going to do nothing and you're going to wait for your pullback to the natural support level, which is the 8 and 21. Not my preferred option either. And then the third option is you understand, okay, we're crazy bullish. This is total mania. I can't enter up here based on my swing trading rule set, but maybe I can day trade it. And so that would put a lot more focus on things like hourly squeezes, 30-minute squeezes, quick ins and outs, and being flat overnight, and then just trading the setup that's in front of you the next day. All right, guys, hope the video is helpful. Have a great weekend. Stay warm out there, and I'll see you next Friday. Cheers. Hey, guys, this is Sam, and I'm the Director of Equities at Simpler Trading. I want to thank you for watching this video, and before you go somewhere else on the YouTube, I'd like to ask that you comment and like the video. It really does help us out with the algorithm and getting the message out to more folks who like to see our content. Also, be sure to click the bell notification and subscribe to our channel so that you never miss anything that comes out. If you want to watch us trade in real time using our own money, come over to simplertrading.com and learn how to sign up. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you for the next video. Cheers.